You need to step away for a month, step away. I'd rather you do that than come in and not be able to perform at a high level because your head's somewhere else.
But if it happens consistently,
it's twice, right?
Thing?
It's happened in back-to-back seasons. So, if it happens again next season, if he is a member with the Golden State Warriors, then yeah, it is starting to become a theme. But it happened last year. We respected it. They got back. Anthony Slater mentioned it. They were 8-2 in the 10 games going into the playoffs. They beat up on Sacramento in 7 games, and then, of course, lost to the LA Lakers in 6, and he got hurt. He got hurt with the rib injury. That really derailed his Game 6 against LeBron James and the LA Lakers. But, boy, I get questioned all the time. I don't want the speculation to happen. It's just a touchy situation because you don't know what's going on. So how do you navigate around it? Who do you ask the questions to? What are the questions? What are the questions? But I'm going to focus on, I'm going to flip it here on the FP. I'm going to focus on Moses Moody and say, young man, it's your time to shine.
Giddy up.
Because it is giddy up. March is tomorrow. It is March Madness. The NBA now has a March Madness feel to it with all the in-season tournaments and the play-in and all that stuff. It is go time now. And Wiggins, you got to go handle your business. But for the guys in the locker room, they got to be locked in.
But
they got to be locked in on trying to get this playoff run. I know it's insensitive to say.
No, it's not insensitive. We all have business, though. Everybody listening to the show has business.
Right.
You have business. I have business. We all have personal things that are important to us, that are way more important than work. But like I said earlier, if you went around a major league clubhouse, talked to 26 guys, and they were just open and honest about what they have going on in life, you're like, why are you here? You should be somewhere else. Like we all have things. Everybody listening has things. Sorry. I just had to interject right now.
No. I mean, it is what it is. But I'm ready for Mr. Stay Ready, Moses Moody. It's your time. It's your time.
Let's go.
To stabilize his bad boy, get some wins. Because I watched LeBron James last night. Look, I hate the Lakers. I do. I don't like the Lakers at all. But watching him drop 19 in the fourth quarter, 5 threes, and you feel that crowd, you feel that energy, it felt like a playoff game in the fourth quarter. I said, okay, guys are starting to ramp it up. Guys are starting to play some ball.
You still don't want LeBron as a Warrior? After
Not really. I want to beat LeBron. But he's still great. It's go time, man. These games are important. This is the type of season we've been waiting on. You got college basketball starting to ramp it up with the conference tournaments. March Madness is around the corner. You got the NBA playoffs following it right after. You got 25 games left to fix this season and hopefully get into a top 6 spot and then maybe make a run in the playoffs.
How important is tonight's game that they win?
It's huge. And then you move on to tomorrow and it becomes even more important. And you need to play Boston on Sunday. Look, you win tonight, you at least clinch a 500 road trip. Then you can get greedy tomorrow night in Toronto. And all of a sudden, what if you're 3-0 on this road trip going into Boston? You're playing with house money on Sunday. You play a good game on national television, you fly back, take 2 days off, and hopefully get Andrew Wiggins back. I don't know when he's coming back. Nobody knows when he's coming back. Steve Kerr doesn't know. Anthony doesn't know. But here's what Slater said about the chance for Moses Moody to shine.
Moody's going to get an opportunity, which I know the fan base has kind of been clamoring for. And, they have this crunch, which I wrote about the other night, right? This closing lineup issue where basically got 8 options. Well, they need Wiggins. They need a lot of what he does on the wing defensively. But at the same time, Clay's playing really well off the bench. Chris Paul, Steve Kerr is going to want to close with him at times. Gary Payton, is healthy right now. He's a defensive ace. You can kind of throw in important moments. So the fact that they're rotation is very well built and healthy around without Wiggins right now, I think puts him in a decent position to keep winning games.
There you go. Great opportunity for Moses Moody. Great opportunity for him. I will say this. I want to reply to something on YouTube. Or just, anybody, because I know this is a sensitive matter when it comes to Andrew Wiggins. It is very delicate. Some people say, hey, man, Boncho, you're sounding soft about the matter. Here's what I'll say. In the real world, when people take time off due to personal matters, what do? We respect that person in their personal matters, in their privacy, and they take time off. I've been in jobs where people take multiple times off, and you have no idea when they're coming back. No idea when they're coming back.
Your partner right now, he's going through it. He's in the middle of it.
He's been going through it since Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What have we done? We stepped up on the roast and respected Shasky and what he's going through. and we pray for him, and we're there, and we check in on him, and he comes back, and we welcome him with open arms. I'm not going to sit here and say, Shasky, man, I need you back, man, this and that. No.
You ever work with FP, Shasky? I need you back, bro. I need you back yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man. Get over that right
next
now.
Hour, but no, seriously. I've been at jobs where, and Anna's been at jobs where she's like, man, this person's off due to personal reasons. We don't know. It happens. It happens. So why, when it happens to a professional athlete, we have to act differently? Said, well, he gets paid $25 million. It doesn't matter. That's come on, man. If we're gonna sit here and say we want our athletes to be human, what are we gonna do? Why are you gonna be mad? We do it in the real world. I see it happen in the real world. You have to respect it. Somebody's going through something personal,
You respect it, but like as a teammate, I need him there. You can lean on me. I'll give you a big hug. We'll talk it out. We'll go have a beer after the game. Like I need you there right now. I need you there.
I hear you.
You're playing the best basketball of your life.
Yep.
Well, this year maybe.
Everybody goes through things differently, man.
I know.
Everybody goes through traumatic experiences differently. Let's go to Gene in Oakland. Gene, what's happening, man? You're on the roast. What up, Uncle Gene?
Hey, morning, fellas. So listening to all this about Andrew, excuse me, I'm having a problem with even the slightest implication that Andrew is letting his team down by doing what he's doing. Excuse me for a minute. Excuse me. Anyways,
bless you.
You all right?
Listen, yeah, I'm all right. I just
bless you, Uncle.
Bonte knows a Heimlich.
Yeah, no, listen, we don't know what's going on. I mean, in my line of work, I do a lot of, what they call forensics, trying to figure out the why of things. That's why I like to analyze things like this. And I'm coming up with two of the most likely possibilities for why he's out. One is,
I don't think we want to really go there and speculate, dude. I don't think that's.
Well, but
I guess you can. Go ahead.
I do. I do for this reason, FP. Just hear me out.
Okay.
Listen, I mean, I'm thinking maybe there's a serious medical emergency in his family, or maybe he's having serious emotional problems. Maybe he's struggling with depression. I remember a couple of years ago, the Simone Biles situation at the Olympics, when she had to step aside because she said, and she could have won another couple of gold medals for us. She said, I'm sorry, I can't do this. And mentally, I'm toast at this point. And we respected that. I mean, I wish that Andrew would speak out and tell us what's going on. I'm sure he's told his teammates, and I'm sure they're respecting it, whatever it is. I think it would be better for him if he's afraid of if he's afraid of the press, maybe badgering him about it. Well, I'm hoping the press is respectful if this happens, if he does come out. I'm certain that the local fans will treat him respectfully and compassionately and support him, whatever it is. But excuse me. But once again, let's just please leave that alone. And as you say, Bonte, let's just look at Moses Moody. Hope that this is his chance to shine and he moves forward and
right.
Fills his spot admirably and helps take us to the playoffs.
There you go, Uncle G.
Well said, man. Well said. Get well soon.
It's a sensitive subject, man. And I know Warrior fans are going to support Andrew Wiggins and what he's going through, man. He's a champion. Going into the season, I thought he was the most important player on this team. Obviously, Steph is very important, but we're going to, Steph is Steph. But Wiggins was so important to me because of his two-way play, because of the way he locks down on defense, taking away that opponent's best offensive player, shut down guys like Lucas, shut down guys like John Morant, shut down Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, just shut dudes down. And we're starting to see that over the last 16 games. Hell, the last month and a half with Andrew Wiggins defensively. Now the offensive game is caught up. And from a basketball standpoint, I was like, man, the timing couldn't be worse because of the rhythm he was in. Shooting, the efficiency was back. He's shooting the efficiency numbers, man. You look at the numbers here for Andrew Wiggins. Last 16 games, FP, 46% from three, 54% from the floor. Wow, he's back. Two-way Wiggins is back. And then you just hate that life throws you a curveball, whatever the hell he's going through, and he's gone. So how does that hurt the team? Well, you lose your best individual defender, number one. You're on this East Coast swing. You've won 6 straight road games. You're 3 games over 500. You're trying to make a push for the playoffs, baby. It is go time. Get the jockey on the horse. You're at the Kentucky Derby. You're coming around the stretch. You got to go, baby. We got to finish. And he's out. He's out. And it stinks. And you hear from Steve Kerr, we don't know. It's a private matter. But, somebody, who was it, Uncle Looney or somebody did say this, and I thought it was a very interesting point. Uncle Looney said this on YouTube. Free agents look at the Doves not leaking information as a good thing, actually. Leaks are bad for an organization. Do players see the way, so FP, you're a former Major League Baseball player. Say you're you're playing for the Montreal Expos and the Texas Rangers. You're looking at them and you're like, boy, they got a good team here. And you notice that they're not leaking anything and everybody's happy. Do players look at an organization like that? It's like, yeah, I like to play there. They keep everything in-house. Is that something that free agents and players look at? Because the Warriors have a league. Remember the Niners. Once they fired Harbaugh left, there's a lot of leaks in the building. And players are like, dude, we don't want to coach there. We want to play there. The hell with that organization. And Shanahan had to get the 6-year deal. He's like, I need you to be quiet. I'm going to hire John Lynch in 2 weeks, but let me test you. Let me see if you're going to leak any information. Does that matter to players or coaches?
It matters to some more than others. Like I said, you can't speak for everyone. In my case, I just wanted to win. So I'm going to go to the place where I have the best chance to win. But you also want to work for an organization in any line of work where they treat you like people, where they treat the players well. And I think families have a lot to do with that. And what you do now is you just text around, call around. Like, hey, Bonte, how the Rangers treating you, man? Do you like it over there? Is it cool? They treat the families well?
Right.
How's the travel? How's the training room? How's the staff? Everybody cool? You love it there? And then players don't steer players wrong. So you there's word of mouth. And then the biggest thing is wives talk. Wives call wives. Here's my wife's number. We've been here for 8 years. Call her. Like I told you in D.C., they called Ryan Zimmerman's wife. Like wives called wives. Like, how do you like it there? How do they treat you? And they're honest. They have to be. So I think it's different for some people. Don't care how they treat the families because they might be single. Some people don't care how they treat the players. If you're going to pay me, we're going to win. I don't care. I'm fine. So it's different for everybody. It's different for everybody. Like I said, my take on Andrew is like you respect what he's going through. It must be bad if he's missing games last year and this year. It must be bad. You don't hear very often when players walk away from teams. Like I'm not going to sit here and speculate what it could be, what it couldn't be, if it's this, if it's that, what he should do, should he tell us? That's all his business, man. Right. The one thing I would just say, maybe more of an old school approach is like, I need him there right now. Yeah. And hopefully like, you could lean on me as your teammate. Like that. Right. That's the one thing, Bonte, when it's all said and done, nobody's going to say like, how much money did you make? How many points did you average? Right. It's going to be like, what kind of teammate were you? Like, he was a great teammate. First thing, good dude, bad dude. No, good dude, great teammate. Right. Like that's your legacy that you leave behind. So, I not knowing, not being in that room, it seems like they're a bunch of good dudes and there's some great teammates there. And then if it's so bad that he can't lean on them or the support staff, every sports team now has a mental support staff, mental coaches. Right. Like the Giants have 46 of them. Right. They're you walk down the hallway, you open a door, there's a couch, and there's somebody that sits in there with like an open door, like confession, where you can just walk in and talk about getting stuff off your chest from the mental health standpoint. Teams are so aware of it now that they embrace it, and a lot of players are okay with admitting that they have anxiety now, which I think is awesome. I don't know what he has. I'm not going to speculate. Right. I said openly I suffer from anxiety. Right. It's something I battle every day, and as a grown man, I think it's awesome that I can talk about it and I can get it out there.
You
and
could do that 15. You could do that 15 years ago.
Soft.
You could do that. And so I'm getting a lot of this. I brought up Shasky, and it was Shasky's choice to basically be open about what was going on in his personal life. If Shasky wasn't open about what was going on, he's just say, hey, Bonte, man, I got some personal things going on, man. I need to step away. Me personally, like, dude, you got to do what you got to do. I'm here for you. Let me know what I can do to help. You're a huge part of the show. Huge. When you're ready to come back, you come back. Shasky, for me, I'm just speaking for me. He didn't have to tell me what was going on with his pops. He didn't have to tell me what was going on in his personal life. If he would have just said, hey, Bonte, I'm leaving. I got some personal things going on. I'm going to need to step away. Dude, you okay? Anything I can do for you? I got your back, bro. I'm a number away. I live 10 minutes away from you. Just let me know. Literally 10 minutes away from you. Let me know. But he decided to provide that private. And I say all that, FP, because a lot of people say, well, the difference is, Shasky, he shared what was going on with this. Say if Andrew Wiggins did share something. For some of you guys out there, it's not good enough.
Dude, but let me throw this scenario out. If you had the 10 shows left for your job and the ratings were that critical and it was crunch time and they said, Bonte, you and Shasky are on the blocks right now. If you don't have a good last 25 shows, you might be done. There's a difference. You can't compare this to everybody's job.
No.
They're playing for their season.
Right.
They've invested so much time, so much energy.
Here's the
They've
difference,
gone through treatment. They've gone through meetings.
Right.
They've gone through travel. They've had a hell of a year when it comes to losing a coach and an indefinite suspension to one of your main players. And they have 25 games left. Like, I understand all this, but like that's where I'm coming. Where what Joe's going through is awful, and he's a wonderful human being.
If Joe was
cool
going through this, and we only had 10 shows together, I'm like, Joe, dude, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Like, you got to do it. But
there's a schedule.
Right.
There's a schedule, and it's coming to the end of the schedule.
No doubt.
And they're playing so well, and he's playing so well. And there's only so much time left in the season. Like you've said a million times today so accurately and so perfectly and poignantly is that they're playing so well. The timing couldn't be worse.
Yep.
And I know there's way more important things in sports. Wait, dude, in everybody, there's more important things in this job for you. Like,
no doubt.
It is as it should be. But it's like you said, the timing.
The timing stinks.
The timing stinks.
The timing stinks. The timing stinks. And I don't think there's some people where Wiggins could say whatever. If he did come out and explain what was going on, it still wouldn't be good enough for a lot of people. So I just don't want to hear that, hey, man, we need to hear what's happening. Well, you just want to be nosy. And I get it. That's the world we live in. But there's some things he could say that would not be good enough for a lot of people out there.
But the not knowing when he's coming back part.
Right. That's probably
for Steve to say, I don't know when he's coming back.
But you know what?
That part, that's hard.
That is hard.
That's hard for an organization. That's hard for me as a teammate.
There's injuries that happen in football. Injuries that happen in baseball where we don't know where a guy's coming back. We know he's hurt, but we don't know when he's coming back. You got to deal with it.
Just like an injury.
It's just like an injury. We don't know when he's coming back. I don't know. I think you're doing a hell of a job, though, FP, giving us a professional perspective of what guys may feel like or how you may feel in the clubhouse here. Here's Anthony Slater on if Wiggins' absence will impact his chances of being back next season.
No, I think everything affects it. I think Wiggins having a really strong finish to the season and the Warriors, having to go in a few rounds into the playoffs would not just keep Wiggins' future intact, but a lot of this core's future intact. Klay Thompson. Whereas, if they flame out, if they get bounced in the play-in, if Wiggins either isn't around or doesn't play well over the last 20 or so games in the play-in, they'll reassess the roster from a financial standpoint and from a competitive standpoint. So in a roundabout way, everyone's future in some ways is kind of on the line. I'm not sitting here saying, hey, if they get bounced in the playoffs, Steph Curry's gone. We all know that's not the case, but a lot is on the line over the last few months.
Everybody listening right now has gone through stuff.
Yep.
If you go into your boss's office consistently saying you need time for personal time, what Joe's went through is awful tragedy, but this is real life.
Right.
But if you consistently go to your boss and say, I have personal issues, I need some time off. I need personal issues. I need some time off. I have personal issues. I need some time off. You ain't going to have that job long, dude. You're not. Because while they'll be empathetic and sympathetic to what's going on in your life and I'm sorry, sure. But if you do that consistently, you're whoever's listening, you ain't going to have your job. Yep. There comes a time when it's okay, but I need you here at work. Mm-hmm. And I understand you're going through something and that's awful. But if you do it consistently, you're going to be looking for a different job.
You know what? I've seen that happen. I've seen it happen.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry, but dude, I need you here. Or, ma'am, I need you here. I'm sorry, but you have a responsibility to a certain extent. There's way more important things in life than work.
Well,
if you consistently do this, you ain't going to have a job.
I've seen that happen in this business. I've seen that happen in real, I'll share this and she probably won't love it, but Anna recently had a job and she got let go and, she had just started a job, but it was there was a lot of things going on. And I was like, man, this might not be good. This might not be good. And finally, the job's like, we got to let her go. Because it was so early. It's like, when you make that first impression at a new job, those first 6 months, you have to be flawless. Attendance got to be perfect. You got to be on your game. You got to prove that you want to be there. But if you start off a gig and, the first 2 months, things happen. Like, I got to drop off my daughter at school, but I can only be there at this time. And, oh, man, I need to work from home. I got this and got to do all this stuff. And then the new person's like, wait, it's only been a month and a half. I don't know if I can count on you. What happens 6 months from now? What happens 12 months from now? So it is the second time that it's happened to Andrew Wiggins.
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. That's the way the world works. I get it.
That's real life, man.
I get it. Let's go on to the